I go away for a week, we have a balcony. Where's our balcony?
You know, you're right, Steve. I mean, veranda. I should say veranda. Patio, I should say.
Welcome back. How was your trip?
It was great. Absolutely great. Did a little golfing, did a little surfing, did a little swimming, and then to top it off...
What is he on? Who are you on, spring break?
Pretty much. It was the end of summer. I had to live it up. And then the last day, I stepped on a rusty nail and wound up in the emergency room.
Are you okay? Did it go through your foot?
It went through enough to get a tetanus shot.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm okay.
You're okay?
I'm looking for a little sympathy right here at the beginning.
Are you limping?
Just
I didn't watch you walk this morning.
Well, all right, all rise. They're putting up the 21st Century Fox flag.
Right. So we are at the right place.
Yes, we are indeed.
So, over the weekend, Labor Day weekend, you had Hillary Clinton speaking in Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio. You had Donald Trump speaking. She got a new plane. There she is on her new campaign plane.
Right, yeah, she's got a campaign. They both go in Ohio. They are actually cross paths because it turns out Ohio's a battleground state. I had no idea. After spending most of August only doing 11 events, 22 fundraisers, and scooped up $55 million, it was time to get back to work.
She can afford a plane, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, what are you doing with all this money?
All the reporters on the plane were asking her softball questions. They were asking you, like how was your Labor Day?
Like what? Do you have some?
How was your Labor Day? Tell me what you did for Labor Day. You want to hear some of them?
Well, let's go.
Hi. Welcome to our big plane. It's so exciting. What do you think? I think it's pretty cool, don't you? You're supposed to say yes.
Are you glad to have all of us? Amy, watch the camera.
I am so happy to have all of you with me.
Have you missed
I've been just waiting for this moment. And I'm thrilled. No, really, and I'll come back and talk to you more formally, but I wanted to welcome you onto the plane.
That question that you heard from somebody asking, have you missed us? That was Andrea Mitchell. She also said at one point, do you have a Labor Day message for your fans and whatnot?
Well, maybe that was a
The
jab.
fans were probably the reporters.
Maybe that was a jab. Do you miss us? Meaning you haven't talked to us in 275 days.
See, I actually don't have a problem with that. She hadn't seen him in a while, and then she did speak afterwards. So I know, like, when you haven't seen someone for most of August.
This is why I think she talked. Because when she was speaking at the podium in Ohio, she had a hacking fit. She coughed for 2 minutes.
It
right.
lasted 2 minutes.
So I think she said, let's listen to that, and then I'll explain why I think she talked to the press.
I've been talking so... Every time I think about Trump, I get allergic.
Well, that was a good line, and she had one rehearsed line. If you remember, famously, earlier in this year, she was on a radio show here in New York City, The Breakfast Club, and she started another one of those hacking fits, and she said it was allergy season. So she continues to think about hacking. And here's the thing, unfortunately for her, now the #1 thing on the Twitterverse is hashtag hacking Hillary. It's the top Twitter thing right now.
Is that fortunate for her?
Well, it's unfortunate for her, because now people are saying, why is her, throat sore, or why is she hacking? I know Ed Klein, who's written a couple of books about the Clintons, he has talked about how famously she fell down a couple of years ago, got the blood clot in her brain, and then she's been taking medicine for that and for a thyroid condition, and one of the side effects of the thyroid medicine is you do wind up with these bouts of coughing.
See, I was thinking, so she coughed. You know, we all have allergies or we all have our coughing spells, but it doesn't look good when you have all these conspiracy theories about her health.
Right.
And I'm sure when she was at the podium, she was freaking out, thinking, oh my gosh, what am I going to say? She came up with that clever line, which diverted the attention. Everyone started clapping and thinking, whew, she came up with a good line.
She kept coughing.
Then she goes on her plane, and I think she thought, I needed to divert attention away from my hacking, from my coughing, so let me speak to the press. And that's why she went on the plane and was so excited.
And then she coughed her way out of it.
Then she started coughing on the plane.
Because otherwise, the lead story would have been this morning, because today is the kickoff to the campaign, would have been Hillary Clinton's 2-minute coughing spree. But instead, the story is, hey, after 275 days, she finally had a press event.
Right.
Meanwhile, Kellyanne Conway came out and said, no, I think she's allergic to the media, so that's their touche. Bottom line is,
she's right about that.
I hope she's okay, but when you're you know, if John McCain had done this when he was running for president, they would say, wow, look how old he is, and see he can't even handle the rigors of the campaign.
Was it Marco Rubio that asked for water in the middle of his press conference one time?
Yeah, during his remarks to the State of the Union. So let's move on and let's talk about what Hillary Clinton said about the fact that Donald Trump went to Mexico. The vice presidential nominee, Tim Kaine, came out and said, well, Donald Trump choked in Mexico because he didn't make the Mexican president come out and say, I'll pay for the wall. Hillary Clinton says, yeah, I do agree. And by the way, I'm not going to Mexico. And by the way, she thinks that Donald Trump had an unsuccessful trip. Steve, I don't think we've spoken. Were you on the couch when he went to Mexico?
No, I actually watched it from my undisclosed location down in Florida.
Yeah, we were trying to find you.
What's the address?
You shut up your phone. We could not track you. Here's Hillary Clinton saying that Donald Trump didn't do well in Mexico.
We saw even more evidence last week that he is temperamentally unfit and totally unqualified to be president. In just a few hours, he managed to turn his trip to Mexico into an embarrassing international incident. I mean, just look at what happened. He got into a Twitter war with the president of Mexico. Not only did Trump mess up his first international engagement, he choked.
Unfortunate for her, she said choked. You know, if she said hacked, and then that would remind you of the DNC hack.
Right.
Here's the thing about where she said Trump had a terrible Mexican diplomatic thing. I just watched from home, and I thought it was great. Of course, the Mexican president came out and said, hey, by the way, Donald Trump said we didn't talk about that. We did. I brought it out the first thing. Rudy Giuliani, over the weekend, though, came out, and he said the Mexican president did bring that up right at the beginning, and Rudy said, hey, Mr. President, that's off the table. We're not going to discuss this today. And so that derailed it right there. So we got Rudy coming up in the next hour. We'll ask him about that.
It's just not an accurate portrayal. It wasn't disastrous. If anything, there's the big
she's got to spin it.
Right, but the big debate was over the tone of his speech later that day. Then you could sit there and say, I didn't like the tone, but to say that trip was disastrous.
Here, the bottom line is she didn't go to Mexico. He did. And no one's expecting the Mexican president to hand over a check. They're going to find a way for Mexico to pay for it, but he's not going to write the check.
Right, he did.
And he's not even president. You're right. All right.